Bhaktivedanta Samaraja Prabhupada Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Jai Namacharya Dastra Jai Prem Se Ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Radha Shri Bhaktarinda Jai Mahavira Bhaktarinda Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Gaur All glories to us Hare Krishna All glories to us Hare Krishna All glories to us Hare Krishna All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Guru glories to Shri Guru Shri Guru Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 7th Canto, Chapter 7, Canto 23. Is it 23?
Yeah.
Deyastu sarva sangato jagat tashtur iti dvida atraiva mrigya purusha neti netiti atat tyajan deha is the body. Two but sarva sanghata the combination of all 24 elements. Jagat seem to be moving. Tashtu and standing in one place. Iti thus. Dvidha two kinds. Atraeva in this matter. Rigya to be searched for. Purushaha the living entity. The soul. Na not. Iti thus. Na not. Iti thus. Iti in this way. Atat what is not spirit. Yajan giving up. Translation. There are two kinds of bodies for every individual soul: a gross body made of 5 gross elements and a subtle body made of 3 subtle elements. Within these bodies, however, is the spirit soul. One must find the soul by analysis, saying this is not and this is not it. Thus one must separate spirit from matter. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As previously stated, Svaranam yada gravasu hemakara karaha kshatrasu yogaistat abhigya apnuyat. An expert in the study of soil can find out where gold is and then dig there. He can then analyze the stone and test the gold within nitric acid. Similarly, one must analyze the whole body to find within the body the spiritual soul. In studying one's own body, one must ask himself whether his head is his soul, his fingers are his soul, his hand is his soul, and so on. In this way, one must gradually reject all the material elements and the combinations of material elements in the body. Then, if one is expert and follows the Acharya, he can understand that he is the spiritual soul living within the body. The greatest Acharya, Krishna, begins his teaching in the Bhagavad Gita by saying, Denyasmin yata dehe kaumaram yavaram jarat tatade antara praptir dhirastatranamuyati. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at the death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such change. The spirit soul possesses the body and is within the body. This is the real analysis. The soul never mixes with the bodily elements. Also, the soul is within the body. It is separate and always pure. One must analyze and understand his self. This is self-realization. Neti is the analytical process of rejecting matter. By expertly conducting such an analysis, one can understand where the soul is. One who is not expert, however, cannot distinguish gold from earth, nor the soul from the body. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devam Guravani Pracharya Nirvishesha Shrimati Pashkati Dhamma. There are two kinds of bodies for every individual soul, the gross body made of 5 gross elements and the subtle body made of 3 subtle elements. Within these bodies, however, is the spiritual soul. One must find the soul by analyzing, saying, this is not it and this is not it. Thus one must separate spirit from matter. So here Prahlad is advocating the process of neti-neti, which is in one sense a process meant for those who are still fond of analytical studies. In other words, of those who are actually fond or have the firm belief that by the dint of their empiric research they will actually achieve knowledge. Prabhupada used this process, but he established immediately a superior process, that means a descending process, which actually one becomes a disciple following a discipline and simply accepts instruction of the spiritual masters as being the ultimate reality. This is much more easier path and very quick. However, it requires one ingredient, and that is very, very rarely to obtain in Kali Yuga, and that's faith. Trust. Trust and faith. This is something which is very difficult, because in this age to gain somebody's trust and faith is almost impossible. Because it's an age of cheating and hypocrisy. As Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj summarizes of cheaters and cheated. There's only 2 categories. And they can switch. You can become cheated or you can become cheated. So in such a situation, to actually, because faith and trust is ultimately not generated from the brain, it's generated from the heart. It's like Prabhupada gives a simple example. If a girl was cheated in her youth once by a man, she will never trust another one. She may follow and she may be, chaste and obedient, but she will always think, when is he going to cheat me? And this is how badly, how we used to have our GBC, who said, faith is like a Chinese vase. Once it falls down and shatters in 1,000 pieces, you can collect them and you can glue them together in an original shape. But it got all these cracks. It's not exactly the original Chinese vase anymore, and it never will be. Therefore, it's such a responsibility to preach Krishna consciousness, because people are extremely vulnerable on this point. When the trust and faith is shattered, you can practically never repair it. It takes, of course, somebody who is intelligent. He will understand. This is time where we are fallible beings. People sometimes even unintentionally, disappoint somebody or hurt his faith. So an intelligent person, he will see more the higher level, and that's a higher level of intention. There are people who find it completely legitimate to break people's faith, to play even with people's faith. I can give you a detailed manual how to ruin somebody's faith. We can start with the innocent type. You simply forget to inform somebody. You forget to communicate with somebody. You are simply spacing this out, this very basic ingredient in our lives, and it's called human contact. That's the very basic thing. Okay? So this is you think, anyway, it's, I'm just doing my thing, it's an important thing, like example, it's for Krishna, it's very important. But those who actually see service to Krishna separate from the servants to Krishna, they are called Kanishtadikaris. As simple as that. Madhyamadikari, he will see he is a devotee, or aspiring devotee at least. And he is a demon, and he is the innocent person. Yeah. So he will, according to that, relate. Some people we should hear from, some people we should be simply friends with, and some people we should instruct. If one gets it mixed up, immediately a range of offenses is opened. That's where the offense is. Offense is not to tell somebody, hey, you are a fool. Offense is actually not to tell him that. Because I'm supposedly in a position to instruct this person, I don't do that. But what is my position? And these positions can change. They are not permanent, they are according to the social circumstances. But generally it's expected in a Vedic culture, like example, senior person is senior in knowledge. Otherwise he's just a senior idiot. There are plenty of people in this world. Old fools. Old dogs who never learn new tricks. You know, so the age in itself is saying nothing. That's clearly demonstrated here by Prahlad, who was a child and he was acting like the ultimate guru. Kapila did the same thing, he was instructing his mother. Normally the mother instructs the child, she's considered one of the first gurus. No, in Kapila, yes, because he was not only superior in knowledge, he was actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's automatically given. So these levels have to be scientifically and intelligently considered. As soon as this is violated, trouble arrives. You know, we instruct those we should listen from, or we instruct even those we should just be friends with. Everybody likes to instruct. That's great hobby in Kali Yuga. There's so many masters, there's so many speakers, but there's no listeners. You know, and the more we know, the worse it gets. This is the violence of academic knowledge. It pumps people with informations, very often completely irrelevant informations, and very often completely wrong informations. But I know so much. I can Google it. I know so much. People get puffed up. And this pride is growing and growing and growing, up to the point they commit such a stupid deeds that they cannot even, like examples, sustain themselves. They don't know how to eat. They don't know how to sleep. They complicate their sex lives to such a degree they cannot have it. You know, these simple things which animals and humans do since hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years became a complicated issue. Now this is happening from being involved with the mind. So 1980 process is using this attitude of the conditioned soul, you know, I know and I think and therefore I am, as one French philosopher said. Big achievement of French philosophy. Even a dog is thinking and therefore he is. Yes, he is thinking, definitely thinking. That's like the reason why dogs are dreaming. Dreaming is just a perverted reflection of thinking. At night you get mushed up, you know, by dreams, you know, which are just result of you thinking during the day. Yeah, or thinking even in previous lives, or who knows what. It's a mush. So you can see sometimes dog is sleeping and then he is just running. Suddenly he's catching somebody, you know, because he is in that scene. He has to run. It's really fun to see a dog sleeping and running full speed. Or he starts to wag the tail. Very excited while he's sleeping. Because he's thinking. So I'm thinking, and therefore I exist. What kind of achievement is this? French philosophy, big thing. Very big. I'm thinking. Great. So, okay, when you are thinking, then think. Because along thinking in a human form should come something which is called logic. And that's the essential point of our preaching. Hey, let's get logical. People are shocked. What? You, the dancing, sentimental Hare Krishnas, chanting this mantra all the time, you want to introduce some logic? Religion and logic. Where is this coming from? And this was exactly Prabhupada's point. Now, let's start to think logically. With a simple question. Who is you? Simple. You will be shocked. Nobody has an answer. They point to the head, to the chest, as Prabhupada took in India, before the lecture, he took one Guru Kuli boy out. I think it was a Guru Kuli boy, and he said, so, tell us, who is you? And the boy was going. Prabhupada said, no, that's your head. The boy went, no, that's your chest. That's your legs, that's your belly. Where are you? Who is you? And the boy smiled and he said, Prabhupada, I don't know. And then Prabhupada started the lecture. You know, this is called niti-niti, analytical thing. It's plain logic. Where are we? And from that, because we are not this body, comes the concept of, if this is something which I am not, then I call it mine. I don't call it me. Of course, they're such an idiots, like we have our guests who just say, it's all assumption. Me, mine is all one big mush. Depends how you define it. What's the designated things? This is very, very stupid. That's Mayavada at its best. Because they have nothing to say. They say, it's all one. Like you ask somebody, how did you cook the soup? And he doesn't know how he cooked the soup. He said, it's all one. It's cooking, it's all one. No, there are ingredients in the soup. And there's a process how to make the soup. They say, it's all one. You just throw things in a pot and you churn it and that's called soup. Cosmic soup or whatever soup. Something soup. It's all soup. Translated in Danish context, we could say, it's all porridge. You just throw it in, cook it up, churn it around. It's all porridge. What's in that porridge? It's porridge. It's all one. Yeah. So there, So this is all, lack of intelligence. Because intelligence means to discriminate. Intelligence means to analyze. Am I this? Am I this? Am I this? This is not. No, this is not it. This is not it. This is not it. But it's a tedious process. You can ask unlimited amount of questions. Am I the sky? No. Am I the tree? No. Am I the, mother? No. Am I the father? No. Am I this? No. It's a negation. I am not this. This you can do forever, this game. And still you will not find who you really are. Prabhupada said you come with this process to a realization that you are not this body. That you can do. By empiric, logical process. But you cannot go beyond that. You will not find what is the nature of the soul. You will not find where the soul comes from. You will not find these things. And you will not find how to engage yourself in devotional service. You can only say, I will not do this, and I will not do that. And actually, I will do nothing. That's what Mayavada says ultimately. Because of frustration of the action and reaction which is set in motion as soon as we start to act. So therefore we just go, no, I don't do this, and I will not do that, and I will not do this, and I will not do that. Because whenever you do something, there will be some problem, But you don't do anything. That's hippie philosophy. Love and peace. Lie on the grass and let the sun shine on your belly. Then you are in peace, brother. It's all peace. And just in case you still think too much, then take some dope. Intoxicate yourself to an unrecognizable form. So actually this society is based on intoxication because people don't want to actually think logically. They don't want. They don't want to take the consequence. Whole academic world is based on one principle. There will be no consequence here. There is no consequential thinking. It's all, it's all suggested. Assumption. That's what it is. It's all assumed and suggested. One theory follows the other. And let's discuss. Let's not conclude. It could be different, isn't it? And as a matter of fact, probably somebody will soon come and prove that this wonderful established theory is completely wrong. And he replaces it with another theory. And Prabhupada said, that's fine, you can do that. But why are you then teaching? You should not teach. Well, my dear children, it could be probably like that. But maybe it's not. So why are you teaching? Just shut up and speculate on your own, but don't confuse others. Prabhupada said, we don't have that problem. And people say, oh, that's exactly why you are fanatics. And you are so, This one reporter said, it seems you have an answer for everything. And he saw it as the ultimate proof that there is something wrong with the Hare Krishna. Because, as a matter of fact, yes, we cannot create answer for everything. We cannot create hardly anything. But, by Guru, Shastra and Sadhu quoting that process, you arrive in a situation, you have practically answer to everything. Yeah? But you are not listening. You are not empathetically listening. So say something. Bah. What? Can you say it again? Bah. Wow, that was really a big speech. I want to also say something. It's democracy, Can you say something? Oh, that's nice. And you look so depressed. Yes, my emotion is mistreated. meow. So that's what Prabhupada said, you cannot have democracy in a society of cats and dogs. First you have to come to human form. And human form means immediately logic, understanding. What am I not? Okay, and when you get really frustrated to this empiric research, what am I not? Then you maybe come to the point and say, can you please tell me? Oh, why not? We have so much to hear from. You know, and that was the qualification of Prahlad's schoolmates. Because they didn't know anything. Demons don't teach this kind of knowledge. Actually, there is a lecture from Hiranyakashipu on the theme. That we are not this body. It's amazing. But he is using the conclusion for his own purpose. We are not this body, and therefore, you know, I should become God. You know, yes, austerities. Yogis, they know they are not this body. But they consider that actually by the dins of the subtle body, as is described, Hiranyakashipu came to a point, he could completely sustain his life energy in subtle body. He didn't need a physical body for that. The ants ate it up, the termites, and he was just completely, he was simply rotating the energy, sustaining his life to the bones. He didn't need any further physical ingredient, really. That's really means you have to be realized, you are not this body. When we cut ourselves a little bit with a knife, we go, ow, 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 ow. Immediately the identification is there. But to achieve such a high level of renunciation, it's amazing. Yogis do that. But still they conclude wrong. And therefore, you know, that's the last snare of Maya. When you get so removed and detached from the body, you feel like God. And that's what you want to become. So how does one become God? Well, one is following one's own plans and schemes. That's what God is doing every day, you know. God is just dreaming, and it's happening. And we are just dreaming and passing by the air. That's all. That's our creation. You know, little gods. But we don't give that mentality up. You know, yeah. To the point, as Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, even by passing still I do enjoy. That much I am determined to be an enjoyer. That's called analytical study. You can experience yourself becoming jolly by passing stool. That's material world. So this is that mentality is very, very deep-rooted. Even when confronted with devotional service, we immediately conclude, yes, Krishna is nice, but I will serve him like this. That's called Kama Mishra Bhakti. It's motivated by still the idea, I am the doer, and now I'm sacrificing the fruits of my work to Krishna according to my liking. So there's only one way to change it. Because as soon as I sit down and try to extract some teaching from the Shastra, I will do it again on my own terms. And I can be misled even while reading the Shastra, because I will extract only that, what is making me, that is favorable to my idea. Oh yeah, you can quote Bhagavatam, describe perfect Grihastha ashrama, Grihastha life, wonderful, sweet-smelling rooms with nice wives in it. And then you can read Bhagavatam also describing how the whole thing is good for nothing. You can choose, you can do that, because Bhagavatam is for all sections of people to inspire them spiritually and connect them to Krishna. You can misuse Shastra. So how do we prevent that? By accepting a Guru. That's Guru, Shastra, Sadhu. And Guru will say, that's not for you. Don't study. Yeah, it's nice you study this, it's good to know, but not for you. I mean, in every schooling system you have that. If a child in a first grade school will come up and say, Mr. Teacher, I would like to know about what is geometry. The teacher will go, we will learn about that later. Okay? Geometry is not your problem. Your problem is that you have to put your shoes nicely when you take them off. You know? And don't mess around with a lunch bag here like this. That's your problem. You start on that platform. And then gradually you come to the point of arithmetics, geometry, physics, all kinds of things will be revealed, but when the time comes. So, Krishna consciousness can be dangerous because when we take it in a reverse form, when we overdose, we may even feel some mental ecstasy, but it puts us immediately into the sahaja offensive platform. And that's what Guru is for, to prevent that. You know, sometimes we feel distress is a proof of our failure in Krishna consciousness. No, it's a proof that we are advancing. The more you know, well, you can also be distressed what you get to see. There's only two kinds of happy people in this world, and that's pigs and pure devotees. Pure devotees because they are completely attached to Krishna and they know how this material world works, and they are not part of this material world in that sense. And pigs because they don't know one damn thing. Ignorance is bliss. So in between, everybody else suffers. Because you simply get things to know, one way or another, to some degree. Partial knowledge, it's struggle. But that's what we all experience. We have some knowledge about everything, but not enough knowledge to take us entirely out of the realm of being free of the control modes of nature. We are trained up. We are training that. Again, the modes comes and condition us and make us do something which obviously brings lots of pain, and then that's the whole process of brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. It's the whole process of growing up spiritually. So one comes to a mature form of renunciation. Renunciation is not to give up something which you don't have anyway. Renunciation is not to stop doing something which you cannot do. Renunciation is a voluntary, Prabhupada used the word voluntary renunciation of the idea to do something which you don't find momentarily favorable in Krishna consciousness. It's not needed to do this right now, and it's not the priority. But we are always establishing our priorities, always pushing. I will become only happy Krishna conscious like that. Therefore, to be a spiritual master in Kali Yuga is so difficult because spiritual master is constantly under blackmail. Bless me, please, but like this, not like that. In India, it's professional. Ashirvad, Ashirvad, blessing, no blessing. Yeah. What kind of guru is this? You know, he didn't bless my broken leg. You know, he didn't bless